No sound. I've been greeting all of you. Sorry, I did not realize that I did not have a sound. Okay. Just trust that I greeted you. um, okay. Let me start from the top. Jackie, Jelma, Shelly, Carol, Amy, Lorena, H. Erickson, Leah, Darren, Jackie, Reg, Eliz, Beth, Sue, Marie, Seda, Evie, Phaedra, Carol, Amy, Leah. I've forgotten if I've already said no said hello to you. Mary, um, OSP, Fire Butterfly, Dawn Marie, Arlene, Cindy from Cali with Love. Mm-mm-hmm. Kathleen, Beth Davidson, I got your DM. Han, Mama Ja, 1415, Z, A Brown, Nil Vanille, Apple Bang po, Arlene, Miso Sue, Rasp Bob, Crystal, Amy Cohen, Rainstorm, Halina, Michelle Santiago, Return of the Kings indeed. Monine, CDV, BTS, Mycel, Nora, Maria, Guji, Miss Kim, Raquel, Michelle, Crystal, Fire Butterfly, you're muted fairly. Hi, Fire Butterfly, thank you. Miso Soup, JR, Carla Girl, Arlene. My dog is here, wants to say hi. Come on. Want to say hi? Come on. Come on. Come on. It's so hot. Come on. Okay. Hello. Okay. Hello. Hello. Say hi to everybody, baby. Okay. Halina. You should be hearing me by now. Okay. Rainstorm. JR. Jackie. Joe. Z. Stephanie Delgado. Normalita. BTS Eden. Nikon Lady. Ako 613 Bangtan. Bora Winkle. Abby, not very normal. There was someone else who was on Twitch. Um, Miso Su, she's on Twitch. Okay, I think I've said hello to everybody. Iris RJ, Cindy Angel Star. Hello. He was away from me for like, so I left LA Friday. Got to, oh, this is my headband for Jin. I have one more. So this is my day one. That's my day one. And then this is my day two. Okay. Um, so I left. When did I leave, baby? When did I leave you here? I left. Um, I told you I wanted something bigger. The thing is that someone told me that I shouldn't because if I wear something bigger, the one behind me will not see much. So I was advised that even this is too big. They told me, especially if I because I'm gonna wear the 8-inch boots. So they were like, "Come on, have mercy on the person behind you." So I've settled for this one. Okay, so I left Friday and then got there very early Saturday. Actually, no, I got there late Friday. I got there late Friday. And then interviews. I interviewed 8 people, and I did it all Saturday, which was really a test because I'm introverted. For those that are introverted, you would know how it feels to actually be continuously talking and interacting with other people for 8 straight hours. I think it only helped that I was just talking with one person instead of like having a group of people that I needed to speak with. So that helped. Um, so yeah, so that helped. So I will. So I did from 9 all the way until 8, I think, because I had to. Thank you, JR. I had to rest in between. So we had like 15 minutes of rest before the next one. But most of the guests would come in early, so I didn't really have that lull time. Usually, what happens is right after the guest, and so when I'm interviewing somebody, the interview ends, the next person is already there. And so they'd end up talking. Of course, I have to participate. And I just want to emphasize that I don't like hate what I was doing. I absolutely loved it. But if you're an introvert, you would know that those things actually exhaust us, right? And so it was very exhausting for me to do all of that. But it was very satisfying. And also, it was also a test for me, like my fortitude, I guess, social fortitude, to see how much I can actually push myself to do it. I do have to admit that right around the fifth interview, I think I could feel my body shutting down, that I had to like improvise to see how I can build myself back up. Like, how can I have that energy again? And the thing is that because I'm an introvert, I know that the only way I could actually recharge is to be alone, but I couldn't at that time. So I really had to dig deep to see how I can recharge myself without having to be alone because I couldn't anyway. So it was a test. I was able to do it. And I think it does add when it helps when you're interviewing somebody who's also lively, when if the person is talkative and all. So that really helped. So yeah, but it was a test. Like I really pushed myself, and I think I kind of know where my sweet spot is when it comes to doing work like this. But also I just need to sort of be better in improvising so that when I am put in this situation, there's a way for me to actually go about it. So September is the actual Asian Fashion Week. I'm gonna go back to New York for that. So I might spend like probably 3-4 days there for the actual day of the fashion week. So I have to go to all the shows, and then there is so there's so many interesting things, people. Okay, so I'll be there for the actual show itself, and then day before and day after I'll be interviewing people, and then there are some designers who actually wanted me to go to their studios so that I can see how they're preparing and all of those stuff. So that's interesting. And then there are some designers that I kind of want to meet because there are some designers I feel will make it big. So I want to just see how they work and sort of follow their journey until they become really, really big. So that's what's gonna happen. And then the interview that I published, what date is the show? September 13, I want to say. September 13. I'm going to yeah, September 13, I think. So if there's anybody who wants to go, let me know. I might be able to score a ticket for you. Let me know if you are there. Just message me on Patreon, and then I don't know how many tickets I can get, but let's just do a first. For example, if they give me, this is just an example, if they give me 5 tickets, then whoever is the first five, I can go. I mean, you got the ticket, so I'll just try to get as many as I can, and then Yeah, and then whoever says you want to go, then we'll go. Okay. Cindy, need an executive assistant? That sounds so awesome. I will get I'm gonna get a shooter, a cam person, a camera person that will actually record the shows and the interview for me, because it's not going to be a sit down like the one that I did yesterday. Sorry, the other day. It's going to be, I'm going to be moving around, so I actually need a sound guy and then a camera guy in one. So yeah, um it'll be exciting. And then we'll see, there are some things that are moving around, some things that are happening. I can't tell yet. I'm going to tell you once it's final. um but it's exciting. I'm really looking forward to it. So, okay. Outside of that, for those that are just gonna be with me, in those that will be joining us in the suite for Jin's concert, I still don't have the tickets. As I've mentioned before, that in the when we bought a suite in for J Hope in BMO, we got the ticket like 10 days before, like maybe even less, 10 days before the show. And so this is the same thing for Prudential. They were telling me like, probably 7 days before, a week before. So don't no need to panic. It's just that that's how they do business. But everything is all good, and I keep on checking every day just in case for some miraculous reason they decide to release the tickets for free. Okay, and then what else do I have update? I'll share some more about the trip with you in a bit. I just want to go through all my topics for today. um, Hi, I am Claudia. Good night, Fire Butterfly. Oh, good night. You're gonna sleep. Good night. Um, all right. And then I really regret. So, oh, the thing is that, so on my way back, I actually booked a flight very early in the morning. Not very early in the morning. uh, in the morning. I booked a flight early in the morning. Not early in the morning, but in the morning, late in morning actually. It was 11. So I really was excited. I missed my dog, so I wanted to come home early. And then I got to the airport and I got the message that they rebooked me to a much later flight. And they rebooked me to a 4:15 flight for 4:15 in the afternoon. And it's like, oh my god, it's like, there's the thing is that I wanted to come home earlier because I wanted to play fetch with Deba, because he hasn't been really playing a lot. And so I was so pissed that they rebooked me. I don't know why, but they just did. Now, the one thing that saved me is the lounge, because I do have access to a lounge. And so that allowed me to actually take a nap, and then I was able to work, and of course I ate for free because food is free in a lounge. So I would encourage people, actually, if you are going to travel a lot, make sure that you have access to a lounge. What airline and airport? JFK, Delta, Delta. So, they're all bad, all airlines. I mean, or yeah, all airlines are bad anyway. So that's so yeah. So make sure if you're traveling a lot, I encourage you guys to actually get access to a lounge. So there are credit cards that will give you free access to a lounge. So make sure that you get one, so that when those things happen, it doesn't really. I mean, I was still pissed because I wanted to come home early, and then we didn't actually move. So we got there, and then there's something wrong with the bathrooms, and I don't know what happened. We didn't actually take off until probably 9, I would say. So I got here very very early in the morning, and then I had to go to work this morning. So I don't know how I am alive. But yes, Delta Sky Lounge is good. There are certain credit cards that will give you access to a lounge. Chase, I think, if you get a certain card, you'll get access to a lounge. And then you can also pay like, I don't remember that app where you just pay a month or an annual fee, and then you get certain access to certain lounges. So if you fly a lot, it's gonna help. And also, like, if you are for those that are a little like weaker in their body, I mean, if you have a weaker body, it's also good to have a lounge, be access to a lounge, because it's you'll have space where you can sit down. Now, there are specific times when it's actually full that you have to wait outside. I guess that's a disadvantage, but um at least, at least, and also there are certain credit cards that gives you access to multiple lounges. So yeah, okay, that's what I have, Beth. Amex Platinum. So try to get one if if you travel a lot. Try to get one because it's really worth it. Nice hairband. Is it from Jin's Tuna Super Tuna merch? No, I actually just got it off of Amazon. Someone sent it to me on Instagram. I searched it on Amazon and I saw it. So this is going to be my this is going to be my headgear for the show. I found something else. Like there's actually a top that like an actual fish top. But it might be too hot. That's the summer, so it might be too hot. So I think I'll settle with this one. This is okay, and then the other one will be my first day, or this is my first day and that's second day. I don't know. So but I have this. I'm all ready for Jen. I'm super ready for Jen. I am just waiting for the day to come. Okay, did everyone see the video of J Hope's dad hugging? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. American Express offers, this is not a brand deal, by the way. Amex offers some very exclusive lounges I travel a lot to. Yeah, for based on my experience of all the lounges, Amex is always the best. Centurion is the name of their lounge. It's always the best. Next is Delta. So if you can get that, those are the two best for me. Well, what's that? The Middle East one. That's also good if you have access. But I think you can only get that. Um, Forget the name of the airline. They have their own lounge, but it is a Middle East airline. But you can only get that if you fly business or first class. Lucy in the Sky, I did. It was so sweet. Okay, wait. Are all the members heading to the US to do Fallon? Uh, we don't know what they're going to do. But what we know is that the only one that I am comfortable talking about is JK because he waved, so he kind of acknowledged people. So I'm like, hi. So now we know for JK he's actually headed to the US. What day? Um, Fairlane, I got my headband and all the other things too. I'm a lookafu. Someone was asking me, no, if it's for Jin, it's always good. What day are you going for Jin's concert? I'm going to do day one and day two. So for day one, we're going to be in the lounge. And then for day two, I'm in the floor. Yeah, I'm in the floor. I have a sound check for day two. Okay, you want to say goodbye to people, baby? Say bye bye. Say bye bye to everybody. Hey, bye bye. My mom, tell them how I abandoned you for 2 days. When I got here, I still had to like play with him for about an hour because he hasn't been getting his energy out. So, you know, such a baby. And then it was his birthday, June 10. Can you say happy birthday? It was your birthday, right? June 10 was his birthday. We went to San Francisco. That was his birthday. See, tell them, greet me, happy birthday. It was my birthday. I am now 5 years old. He's now five, getting older. Can you stay with me for 30 years? Hmm? 30 years? Can you do that? You'll be the oldest dog in the Guinness Book of World Record. Okay. 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 Oh, miracle. He didn't really he didn't really said no to me putting him down. Okay. The lounges are worth it. Okay, I should be a brand ambassador for Lounges. To all the lounges out there, get in touch with me. Emirates, yes, that's it. It's really good. But you can only get access to it. Well, we got access to it because the ticket was given to me. I did not buy the ticket. So we were given a first class ticket, but I did not buy that. I don't have money to buy first class. So yeah, you can get into the Emirates lounge if you are, but maybe there's another way. I don't know. Well, maybe you can buy access for the day, but okay. The thought, it was interesting who, okay. Yes, Emirates. I don't know. Emirates was the one that I, okay. Qatar Airways Lounge, maybe? No. Emirates is the one that I was talking about. Okay. Happy birthday. They're saying happy birthday to you. Okay. 50 more years. I want him with me 50 more years. Let's go to our news. Have you bought yours? Have you reserved? I did. I bought mine. And as usual, I bought two. Two sets. I'll open one here so that we can all take a look at it. Even if you have it, it will still be fun opening it with other people. So I bought two of that. So I hope that you get yours as well. So just go to BTS, go to Weverse, and you will have access to it. It won't ship until July 3 KST. It says I can purchase up to 14. I just purchased two. That'll be good. First class on Emirates on an A380 plane is amazing. I flew once for business and it was fabulous. It's like no other. Emirates is like no other. BTS plus BTS 7 plus 1 said I bought two as well. You can't why oh, access to your country, right? Amy Cohen said I bought too many. Okay, so buy yours and I bought two and I will open one. Um Okay. So, and then this is their schedule for the next 2 months. We are here. Killing It Girl remixes. It's going to be, well, it's already out. And then J Hope's appearance in Music Camp 618. These are all Korea time. Okay. He's busy. And then he's gonna be in M Countdown. Do we still have hope? Can he still win? I hope he wins. I mean, he's going to attend it. I will feel bad if he doesn't win and he's there. And then he's gonna be in on the 19th. On the 19th, there's gonna be um he's gonna be in Sana's fridge. So Sana is my second favorite in yeah, he's my second favorite, my second bias in Twice. So I changed my bias actually. My first bias was Jonghyun, and then it became Gio. So now Jonghyun is the third, and then second is Sana because she's just so pretty, right? She's the one with the most brand deals of all the members. Okay, so he's gonna be in Sana's fridge. I saw some of the teasers of his appearance in Sana's fridge. My God, our kid has no has no game. So Sana asked him if she can call him Oppa for the rest of the interview, and J Hope just melted. Well, he's hopeless. What are we gonna do? He needs to get married. Okay. Because he needs his genes distributed. Okay. J-Hope on Music Bank, that would be 505. He's really going to promote in Korea. And then Suga's military discharge on the 21st. Okay. I am so happy. And then that will be the day when they are going to reunite. I hope the six of them would actually come and welcome Suga. However, usually for public service, there is no ceremony like that. There is no ceremony like that. So I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't even know if Suga would want something like that, right? We know him; he's unpredictable. So I don't know if he's gonna want something like that, especially because he's not just, but he is a public servant. So let's just see what they decide to do. At least a picture or something like that. So Okay. Um, and then J Hope, he will be on Music Core on the 21st as well, and then on the 22nd he's gonna be in Inkigayo. And then 27 to 25 capsule album volume 1 shipping, and then 28 to 29 Jin starts his South Korean tour. So yeah, it's the beginning of Jin's tour, and J-Hope is just winding down. Okay. Isn't JK in the US? He went to the US, yes. His flight was this morning. J-Hope performance on NTV's The Music Day, July 5. Jin's concert in Japan. BTS Festa Capsule Volume 1 shipping in Japan. And then 12 to 13th, Osaka, Japan concert of Jin. Berlin for J-Hope Lollapalooza. And then 17 and 18, Anaheim, US, Jin concert. 22 to 23, Dallas, US. 26 to 27, Tampa, US. And then 30 to 31, that is my day. Newark. He is going to be in Newark, and I will be there as well. I'm going to see you guys. Okay. Is it true that some armies are attacking the dancer in Hobie's MV? I wouldn't be surprised if they are. um, I know that we like saying that these are not real armies, but the truth is that there are some armies that are simply unreasonable, right? They're very, very immature. So I'm not surprised to hear something like that. Um, like I know the girl is very, like, she welcomes the attention, and I mean, she deserves it. She was so good, and I guess that's why she was chosen to be J Hope's dance partner. So she leans into the attention, and some armies don't like that. But I mean, the only thing that we can do is to try and make up for it by showering her with support, just praising and letting her know that her efforts was appreciated. J Hope's decision to do the dance, to have a girl for a dance partner, wouldn't have turned out great if he didn't find the right partner. And so that was her. So I think she deserves to be praised, and she deserves to be congratulated. So when there are armies, if you see armies attacking her, just try to make up and just say, like, just say something good to her. That's the only thing that we can do. Um, there are some armies that have come over from K-pop realm and bring their crap with them. True. That is true. She's an LA dancer. Yes, she is. Yes, she's from LA. Such a good. She's very good. I mean, kudos to her to be able to actually dance with J-Hope. That's nerve wracking for you to be dancing with one of the best dancers in the industry globally. That's nerve wracking, because every flaw, every mistake that you do, if you make the wrong turn or whatever, that everyone's going to be on your face about it, right? So doesn't just have the talent, she also have the heart. She also has the heart to actually dance with J-Hope. So kudos to her. It's not just her talent, but also her heart to be able to dance with J-Hope. And she deserves to know that. So if you see anybody, if you see any army trying to trash her or whatever, just praise her. Make sure that she also knows that not all armies are actually like that. There are armies like us who are very, very supportive. And I'm here wishing that J-Hope would actually have a game, because that DNA has to be he needs to breed. Okay, next. I hate when armies attack the performance partners of BTS. It limits them, and that part was so good. It was so good. Oh, yeah. Yeah, beginning to end, the entire thing was good, but she really completed it. Again, if J-Hope didn't find the right partner, then it wouldn't have been as good of a performance. Okay, so 31st, I'll be in Newark. 30 and 31st, I'll be in uh, New Jersey. Uh and then why are other fandoms attacking armies, like calling us toxic? Isn't it same with every fandom, like a coin has two sides? Correct. There are armies that are toxic. There are toxic fans of other groups as well. August 1 to 2025, BTS Festa Capsule Volume 1 shipping in the US and Europe. and then 5 to 6 Jin's concert in London, UK, and then 9 to 10 Jin's concert in Amsterdam. And this is the end of his tour. But the beginning, sorry, and then J Hope's exhibition in Seoul 5 will be 6 to 22, and Jimin's exhibition in New York 6 to 29. This is part of the reason I was so pissed because had I known that Delta was going to move my flight, I would have just I would have just gone to his exhibit because I wanted to do that. But because my flight was early, I didn't buy any ticket. But had I known, I would end up waiting like 8 hours there. I would have just gone to the exhibit. So I was a little pissed. Okay. Next, so that's our schedule until August. If you have the time, please watch the video of I'll It Do the Dance. It is, so I captured this 4 hours ago, and it is, no, 2 hours ago. So they are already at 5 million views, 16 hours. So just remember that this is a Gen Z group. Okay. So level up your expectation when you're listening to their song, but it's pretty good. It's pretty catchy. It's a Gen Z song basically. So but it's a cute song. So if you can, please watch it. And the face card of this girl, my god, like, you can put any kind of hairstyle on her, on any clothing, and she still looks good. Huh. Okay. Also, Taka, if you would remember, the lead vocalist of One OK Rock, he collaborated with Taka and Toru, both of One OK Rock, collaborated with Jin in his album, and they're one of the most successful bands from Japan, and he covered Die with a Smile by Bruno Mars and Lady Gaga. And it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It sounds more raw when it's his voice. So if you can, please go ahead and visit his YouTube channel, their YouTube channel, the YouTube channel of One OK Rock, and give him a view. Okay, because it's really good. He's a really, really good singer. I love it. Okay. Um Rainstorm Taka's cover is so good. Yes, please watch it. Pre-vote is complete for M Countdown. So is that it? He can't win at all. He can, right? There is another way for him to win. I'm also familiar with Korean voting. I love Taka's voice. Me too. Okay, latest. I just wanted to update you guys. So Scooter Braun's Hybe America, both Scooter Braun and Hybe America was subpoenaed by Blake Lively. So what happened was, so remember, Justin Baldoni was actually filed a counter lawsuit against Blake Lively, and um, uh, now the judge he dismissed Baldoni's 400 million defamation countersuit against Ryan Reynolds and others, and that included also the publication New York Times. So the judge said that it is retaliation. You can't do that. So it was dismissed. The case was dismissed. Now Lively is getting a second win. So remember when in the beginning she was getting an edge in public opinion, like people were siding with her, and then Baldoni sort of released several statements and text messages and stuff like that, and the public opinion shifted to Baldoni. And then if you're going to ask me why I'm giving you an update, it's because of Hybe. So and also it's an entertaining case. So you're actually going to learn a lot from a PR perspective from this case. So Baldoni, after Baldoni released several text messages and statements, the public opinion shifted to his favor. But then the judge said you can't do that. You can't do this counter case. So it was dismissed by the lawyer. They're probably gonna appeal that. And now Blake Lively issued a subpoena to Hybe America, to Scooter Braun, and specifically to tag PR. If you remember, Hybe America purchased 51%, I think, of Tag PR. And this group is pretty good. They were the ones for I mean, they are good at their job. So Melissa Nathan is actually the publicist for what's his name, Johnny Depp. So they're very very good at what they do. So now, but what Blake Lively is claiming is that, um well, it was Tag PR who issued media statements to malign her. Okay. So because Melissa Nathan is the same PR person that represented Baldoni. Baldoni sort of tapped her to, when he was initially getting bad PR, he tapped Melissa Nathan, who is, I think, part owner of Tag PR. So let's see. Blake Lively issued a subpoena to Hybe America, to Scooter Braun, and to Tag PR. Okay. Now the only thing is that, do remember, things like this is very common in America, especially if you are that prominent, if you are that rich. People are gonna sue you. You're gonna get pulled here and there or whatever. So don't worry too much, but I am sure a lot of people are going to be using this against Hybe, specifically against Bang Shiyuk, and then they're going to drag BTS into this. So those are, anybody who does that, and anybody who even has the guts to say that, even anybody who even dares to say something like that doesn't know anything about how PR works in the US. This is very common. Let's just say it is true that Melissa Nathan did some black propaganda against Blake Lively. It's not illegal. Just the same way SM Entertainment was not isn't yet getting sued for what they did to, I mean, they haven't paid the price for what they did to Hybe, because it's not entirely illegal. It is unethical, but it's not entirely illegal. But in the US, the view is much, even, like, we're just, this is nothing, basically, is what I'm saying. This is nothing. So if people actually use it against, like, oh, you know um Bang Shiyuk is hiring questionable people to be a member of Hive America, and they're going to be working with BTS, don't pay attention, because it really does not matter. It's like, these types of lawsuits happen day in and day out. So nothing extraordinary about it. And the only thing that I'm wishing for is that whoever is at fault, I hope he or she gets punished, and whatever the truth is, I hope it gets out. That's it. Um, Tag agencies getting a good payout. Only King, hardly. We don't like that trio. We want BTS all together. V is the only king. We want all together BTS. V is the only king, but we want all together BTS or seven. Hybe only owned it for 2 seconds. BTS only king. I don't understand this. What are you trying? Are you a BT? Are you a V solo? If you are a solo, that's fine. Just don't shit on other members. Just don't say things like that. I'm gonna block you. Okay. We're not here to trash on any other member. We're here celebrating all seven. So just don't bring that energy here. We don't need that. We don't need that, and I don't want it. So, okay, the delusion that these guys need to be wrapped in a bubble wrap is ridiculous. Did Hybe get money from the sale of Taylor Swift's catalog? No, because they don't own it. And also, I think so what happened with Scooter Braun, even during the height of his conflict against Taylor Swift, he already sold it. So while the exchange was happening, he was working his magic and selling it to somebody else. So he already made his gains. I think he made like 400 million or 300 million or something like that. So he got it for 250 million, I want to say, and then he sold it for like 550 million or something, whatever. But he made money. That's all that matters. So he didn't own it anymore. He probably had like uh some interest in it, but it's not significant. I Yeah. So no, d- he didn't own it anymore. Hybe didn't own it anymore. Just a consideration, but can you do non-BTS related topic last because you always run out of time by 12 and you have to cut your topics for the night short. Okay. I will do that. Okay. I'm open. All right. Okay, so we're done with the updates. Let's do J-Hope review. Oh, another update. RM was appointed as the official public relations ambassador for Samsung RTV. Can you believe that? So his commentaries is going to be published. So they're going to make several videos of RM talking about art. How is that? How cool is that? We want to hear what he has in his mind about all of these art pieces, all these artworks. Come on, I might have to shift it to a Samsung. I have two phones. I will buy a Samsung for the other one. Okay. Yes, please, because we did not get to test SDT topic last time. Oh, test SDT topic is my video for this for tonight. So wait for that. I will not cover it here because I just created another video for Te. I can say something about the SDT because there were a lot of questions. I got a lot of questions as to whether it's special forces or SDT. I'll discuss that later in a bit. But the full video for Te is going to be published tonight. Okay, so going back to RM, how cool is that? He's now the official public relations ambassador for Samsung RTV. Okay, let's support this. Okay, all right. I've only ever owned Samsung. Me, it's just iPhone, but it's super cool. RM, am I missing something? RM has been appointed as a public official relations ambassador for Samsung RTV. So they're going to have a show where he will be talking about different artists. He's going to talk about like the things that he bought, purchased, things that he wants, and things that he finds. It's going to be very cool. Okay. Yeah, go RM. I was so excited when I saw this. I'm like, yes, that is so perfect for RM, right? So perfect for RM. I really think that he's gonna thrive on this one. Okay, Nigma Prize. Did you hear that Le Seraphim girls are doing Tokyo Dome? It's their first stadium. I am so happy for them, and I hope that this motivates them to work harder so that they can do a stadium tour in the near future. Okay, Return of the Kings. Let's do J Hope first. Where's J Hope? Did I delete J Hope? Wait, no, that's not it. Where is J Hope? Oh, here. Yeah. Okay. So I just decided to put his abs on page 2 so that you guys can look and feel happy. You've seen these pictures so many times, but you like looking at his abs. So I think my only sentiment is that I feel so bad that his son, Mang, just totally abandoned him. Just like that. I think Mang became so successful that he decided he doesn't want that gig anymore. And he's now just allowing his father to show his abs, but yeah, I think it's unfair. He was raised very very with a lot of love by J-Hope, and he just abandoned his dad. So Laila Pandesal, that is bread in our in our language in the Philippines. It's bread. It's the bread that we eat in the morning. Emotional motivational picture. Exactly. So I decided, okay, everyone's always looking for pictures. I know you've seen this picture so many times, but there you are. That made you happy. So okay. Okay. Let's talk about Mang officially retired. Let's talk about his song first, the trilogy. I actually conducted a survey in Patreon asking you guys which of the three songs you like the most. I have to admit that I was surprised with the results because you guys actually chose, most of you chose Killing It Girl. I thought it was either going to be Mona Lisa or Sweet Dreams. I did not expect that people was going to choose Killing It Girl. I was wondering if it's because it's just the last one, but Killing It Girl was actually the runaway winner of it. So okay, if that's what you like, I was just curious which one you actually like the best. But all three songs are supposed to be taken as a continuous narrative, one continuous narrative. And it's very linear. He was dreaming about a girl, wanting to have a girl, talking about what he's going to be doing with the girl or for the girl. And then in Mona Lisa, he started describing the girl that he wants. He wanted someone independent, 10 out of 10. He wants someone pretty, beautiful, so beautiful, like a fine art. And then in Killing It Girl, he found the girl and pursued the girl and was saying, like, okay, you're going to have to, like, I'm going to go after you. So it's very simple, a very, very simple story. But while each song is hyper focused on a specific time of his life, of this guy's journey, J Hope's journey, put together, it's actually it progressed, right? So if you're going to concentrate on just one song, then yeah, it's gonna sound like it's not much, but you put it together, it's a little bit more meat in that. So in the olden days of not olden days, but in the, yeah, it could have been like one song, right? That entire narrative was one song, but that is not like the contemporary pop way of doing things, because right now in the US you have to be very, very hyper focused on the things that on a song. You want something very simple. However, there is a twist in all of this, because I know people have been hyping how sexy it is, how sensual, how sexy the dance routines are, how he has really stepped it up, really trying to break his image and establish a new one, meaning the image of an innocent, not innocent, but wholesome, but angsty kind of a guy to something sensual and sexy. But there is actually a twist, because the first two songs were totally about him wanting to meet a girl. That was it. But the last song, he actually found a girl who didn't need him and he still wanted her. So that was the unexpected turn, because he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this with a girl, but I want you. I want someone beautiful. I wanted something pretty." But in the last song, he did find someone, but the girl actually didn't love him. Not love him. The girl didn't need him, and he said so in the lyrics. He said, it's actually the Killing It Girl of the three song is the least sexual. Lyrically, it is the least sexual. So it's all about killing it girl, 10 out of 10. You're killing it, baddest out of your friends. And it's in this line, all you're doing it all without a man. So you're killing it without a man. So he is hinting that this girl is very, very independent and that this girl actually doesn't need him, but he still wants the girl. So if although it seems that when it comes to the dance routine, this one is the sexiest, lyrically, this is the one that is the most wholesome. This is the one that is most uh is cleanest. There's not a lot of sexual innuendos. There are some, but not as heavy as the first two. So I think that was a conscious decision on his part to make sure that um that i- there is some irony in between the lyrics of the song and the routine. I think he intended to do that, but he also intended to make the third song more about the woman than it is about him. And I think that deserves to be commended, right? Because he could have gone all out on the third song. People were already expecting that he was going to do something drastic, that he was going to do something very, very sexy. So he could have just gone very sexual, but he didn't. Instead, he decided, no, I'm just going to praise the girl, and I'm going to paint a very independent picture of the girl who's confident, who knows that he's hot, and she's doing it all without a guy. So I hope that that aspect of it we're also able to highlight, because even in such a very we it's undeniable that these three songs are very pop, and he created it specifically for the western pop market. But for him to be able to give that twist in the end, I think deserves also to be commended, because that a lot of people will go that route. Other people, other singers would just go, okay, I've done two sexy songs, I might as well just go all out on the third. So kudos to J Hope for deciding to do that. Okay. Um I see Killing It Girl as a hype song for women. Killing It Girl is a nod to the 21st century girl. Leia disagree. Hobie has always been this way before the Macne line. Okay. All right. It's so hot. Okay. Praise the girl and then take his shirt off. Awesome plan. Okay, so the first two songs were really about him, and then the last song was about the girl. So him just praising the girl, just emphasizing that this is a different kind of woman. I was looking for this and that, but this person is just a woman all her own, and that he finds that very very sexy. It follows also the contemporary. I was like trying like when I'm listening to this, I don't force myself to decode things from a song. Whatever I feel deserves I whatever I feel the meaning of the song is what I will, talk about. And so for this song, as I've said, I think it's pretty simple. It is to be taken as one whole narrative, and there's a flow to the story, wanting to meet a girl, describing the girl, finally seeing the girl. But in terms of sound, it really follows the contemporary formats of a pop hit. It's simple, very repetitive, and of course, very, very catchy. Okay, from here forward, I'm going to be saying something that is unpopular. So if you don't want to hear anything that I don't usually say about BTS, I'm going to give you 10 seconds to actually log out. You might not like what I'm about to say. So I'm going to say something unpopular. Okay. I'm going to give you a couple more seconds to log out. I think J Hope is the boldest because he's the first one willing to show his sexy and sensual side, regardless of the very conservative Korean society. I hope I'm saying it Korugan English. His smirk in the live was like the cat who got the cream, satisfied and happy. Okay. All right. Um, okay. So I am going to assume that all those who don't want to hear unpopular opinion will now have logged out. Okay. Your voice is so soft. Thank you. Are you talking to me? Or J Hope? Okay. There is nothing complex about the story. So I didn't really make any attempt to dissect, because there's really nothing complex about it. And even the beats and the melodies, they're very simple. I think he specifically created it in the Western pop style so that people will be able to sing to it. Like it will be easy for people to sing to. He forgot to do that in the dance routine because nobody can follow that freaking dance. Now, I do dare say, so it's very different from what he has done before. The All the other things that he has done before, it's really, really different, because all of his songs before have been with so much depth. There's always a complex narrative in each song, and all of the songs put together will have an even wider, more complex narrative. But this one is so simple. So this is really different. And he probably thought that, and I think it's correctly, he probably thought that no one would have expected him to be doing something like this. But I do feel that this is something that he needed. This is something that this three songs he needed in his arsenal. I think everybody would love to needs a song that they can actually perform to hype the audience up. So, you know, okay. However, so the big question is, because there's no doubt that these songs are good, it's meant for the Western market. And so a lot of people are asking, why did he not get as many streams as the other songs that he has released, or streams like the other English songs that BTS has released? Okay, these are the biggest his biggest debut in Spotify. So Mona Lisa is the biggest with 3 point almost 3.9 million, and he was at number 12. More has 3.8 million. LV Bag has 3.5, and then Sweet Dreams has 3.3. On the Street is 3.2. Arson has 2.8. So this is their debut in Spotify Daily Global Chart. So day 1. And then Neuron 2.5, Ha 2 million, and then Equal Sign 1.7, Pandora's Box 1.6, I Wonder 1.6, and Rush Hour 1.5. Okay, this is its ranking. Um, Carla Girl, this serious conversation with a tuna on your head. Now, Killing It Girl actually ended up having 2.561 million on their first day on global Spotify. So they landed at number 25. Now, this is good. I just want to make it clear to everybody that this record is actually good. He'll still be he's still pulling more streams than many of the K-pop acts that have heavier promotions. So this is not bad at all. So the comparison is actually coming from other armies who are comparing his numbers with other members and even his past performance actually. So in the past, it has always been, so this will put 2.5 million, this will put him at number 8. So in between, oh, number 7, so it's going to be between Arson and Neuron. And so for a lot of people, it's like this doesn't make any sense. Like this should be at like number 2, or at the very least number 2, if not number 1. So why is he not getting a lot of streams? Okay. um Now let's put it in perspective. This is the biggest debut from a Korean act, not just K-pop, but a Korean act in global Spotify yearly. So the DNA 1.1 million. Imagine that they were at one point debuting their songs 1.1 million, and then BTS's Fake Love 2.1, Boy with Love 4.5. This is 2019, so it was the biggest song Spotify debut in terms of Spotify debut. And then 2020, Dynamite with 7.7 million. Butter, 11 million 2021. It was Blackpink for 2022. This is the exact year they all announced their hiatus and that each of them actually started going to the military. And then 2023, owned by Jungkook with 15.9 million. And then with for 2024, it's Jimin with 7.9. For who? Okay. So people are expecting that it was going to be the biggest debut, or at least one of the 3 songs would be the biggest debut for 2025, or at least one of the biggest. So a lot of people are actually disappointed. Why is it 2 point? Why just 2.5? Just want to emphasize that it's not bad. As you can see, Fake Love got 2.1. So it's not that bad at all. Um, Especially because J Hope's Hope on the Street is tracking to become, well, it is already, even without the official count, it is already the highest grossing tour by a Korean soloist and probably an Asian native. Yeah, it is the biggest solo tour by an Asian native with 70 million in 33 shows. Imagine that. You're pulling, and not only that, he's also the only Asian who were able to sell out a stadium in 2 different continents. The other one is Bruno Mars, and we know who that is. And so for him to be the only other Asian act to sell out a stadium in 2 countries, not even um, who are the other popular Asian? Uh, no, not even other popular Asians were able to do it. Just Bruno Mars and him. So if you're pulling this many people on your concert, why is the stream so low based on that standard, right? J-Hope beat Suga. Yes. So Suga was 59.7 or 59.8, I think, million. Suga also had lesser shows. He has 33 and I think Suga has 23 or something. Because remember, he did that before signing for the military, serving for the military. So the answer is yes, but also because he had less shows. Okay. J Hope had more shows. Okay. So going back, so that it doesn't seem to align to a lot of people. Um, so so why isn't he pulling the same numbers if people are actually paying to be on his shows and people are traveling? It's not just like they're in his city so they're going to watch. They're actually traveling to be able to watch him. If that is not a real fan, I don't know what is, for you to travel just so you can watch him in a concert. Abby, not very normal, said, my theory, so many people were at Festa and people live streaming the show too. Not everyone were able to stream as much before. So, now, probably it's actually here on my theories. Some things could have contributed to this. Number one, armies were traveling. Armies with a bias were busy organizing discharge projects. So, as you know, there are armies who are, they have a bias within BTS. And because there are four members that are actually getting discharged, some armies were just busy trying to organize their discharge project. And this discharge projects of this four, by God, I mean, this is a different level. They were giving away free burgers, free coffee, free donuts. I mean, I think these fans like donated to a cancer institution or something like that, and they raised, like, it was considerable amount that they raised and they donated. That's not easy. And then of course all those banners, those are givens, wraps, all of those things are given. And then I think Jimin's fans also, they actually constructed like 11 houses or something for people who lost their houses during whatever. So that this is a different level, a different kind of discharge project. So a lot of them are actually really busy doing all of these things. And then the other thing is that he released three consecutive songs, right? Three consecutive songs. So those could have contributed to Killing It Girl not performing as well as the other two songs. But then the still remains the question remains, but what about those two songs? Right? Like Sweet Dreams and Mona Lisa. Although it did well, it still didn't do as well as people expected it to do. I will argue against it. I will say, you know, I think you're just because you're just used to like Jungkook pulling 15.9 million on his first day. It's just you're expecting him to get to that level as well. And that the truth is that there are some members that have, a lot of armies actually have biases. Okay, so just want to highlight this comment. Suga's concert, 28 concerts with a revenue of 57.224 million. Okay, all right. So my theory really, I think it boils down to the fact that a lot of people did not expect this from him. And there's a lot of casual BTS listeners who are used to or expected or did not they're not used to this from him. They did not expect that he was going to release something like this. So it's throwing you out of the loop a little. So it's harder to actually gain general GP listeners because it's so out of his range, not out of his range, but so out of his image to do something like this. No one expected him to do something like this, essentially. Before the military, he released a very passionate art project, which is Hope on the Street. And then he released a single with one of the pillars, I would argue, of of hip hop in America. So J. Cole. So like you just like, what is this? Like, this is not the J Hope they expected. So I think that that would have been a bigger contributor. Like, people were thrown out of their loop. And then the other thing is, there I do feel that there is a market for him in the West, but that would also mean doing a promotion that is totally different from how he's doing it right now. Because right now he's primarily marketing to armies. And I think he has an appeal, like he has a chance to get a very separate market in the US. But that would also mean marketing and promoting differently. Um, but I remember somebody commenting on X and on Facebook saying that, if this guy would just actually do a proper promotion in the US, he might be getting more fans in the US. I believe that he probably will get more fans in the US. It's just that if he does that, if he wants to appeal to that, he would have to promote very, very differently, to the point where it's going to be just very strange for armies. It's just going to be a different experience for us seeing him do these types of promotion. Okay. Um, Next. Now, because there is a certain expectation from J Hope to always have depth, to have complex narratives in his song, that's what threw people out of the loop, right? It will always be different. Like Jack in the Box was something very dark, and then he went to street hip hop with Hope on the Street, but this was just very, very pop. I do think that releasing pop songs like this occasionally is okay if it's going to appeal to the US market, totally appeal to the US market. I think releasing a song, something like this occasionally, would be okay. But I think his edge is still in his depth. If he is able to find a way on how he can communicate that depth to sound more pop, I think that's his key into finding more GP listeners and new fans from the West, not just the US, but from the West. So, um, I said in the beginning, like halfway through this, that I was going to say some unpopular things, right? So that is my unpopular opinion. Um, I think he does have a huge market waiting for him in the US, but if he does decide to pursue that market, he will have to change the way that he's promoting. And I also think that releasing songs like this would be good, but I think his key, his unique selling proposition still lies in his depth. And if he can find a way on how to communicate that depth in a more pop way, that would be the aha moment for him. Okay. Um, There are also, the other thing is that there are also a lot of armies that would support everyone, but not equally. So that is why a lot of these other armies who were busy with the preparation of the discharge, it's not that they are not supporting, it's not that they hate J Hope, it's just that they were occupied, and the support that they can give was very limited because they were very busy with their own different projects. Okay. So that that I think is the key. I think that's what happened. However, I still don't want us to lose track of the fact that he did well. It's just that we're expecting him to hit like 7, 8 million, like his other bandmates. And I think he will just need some time to get there, because prior to this one, all of the projects that he has launched have been very, very cerebral. They have it's very complex. All of his projects have been very complex, from Jack in the Box to, well, actually, Hope World to to Jack in the Box to Hope on the Street, and now this three. It's just before this three, it's just also complex that it's gonna take some time for the market to sort of adjust to him. It goes back to what I said in the beginning. Like this, the market wasn't used and did not expect this from him. So let's just give him time. He's gonna get there, but he's gonna have to make some decisions on how he would get there. I still think, I still think that his edge still lies in his depth. He just needs to find a way on how to communicate that, the messages that he wants to communicate in a pop way. And I think if he uncovers that, he's going to be unstoppable. So I hope that he actually gets that. Because remember, a lot of the pop stars nowadays, they're just leaning onto the simplicity of their songs, the simplicity of their message. I remember seeing this quote. I think it was a variety interview with Sabrina Carpenter, and she was like being criticized for being too sexual. And his answer was that, well, you made the sexual songs popular, so that's what I'm doing more of. Which is like, I think she said something like, it's funny that all of these people are complaining about the sexuality in my shows when they were the ones who made it, who made those songs popular. And a lot of these pop stars nowadays, they're leaning into that. And then, or something a bit more juvenile, but J Hope has the ability to actually come up with complex messages, complex stories. So if he's able to communicate that in a pop way, I kid you not, I kid you not, he's going to be one of the biggest acts globally. So, but again, he has to make some decisions. Okay. Um, where is that? There was someone who made a comment. Unpopular opinion. I think K-pop music goals relies more on the quality of the videos and visuals more than music and singing. I think that's why his songs aren't hitting as hard yet. But these songs are actually a bit more simple than the others that he has released. I remember that J Hope wants to go global, mentioned on an interview or something, so it's understandable. Yes, he did say that. It wasn't during the release of the first song, and he was interviewed. He was still in the US, I believe, at that time, and he said that he took comfort in the knowledge that he was creating songs that he wanted, and that he didn't pay much attention to the he said that it was like sort of an escape for him. He didn't pay attention much to the ranking, the charts, because he was creating songs that he wanted to create. But then this song he specifically wanted to chart in Billboard. So yeah, it's understandable why he created this song this way. So that's why I really wanted it to do well, because I want, like all of you, just like what you all guys want, I also wanted to help him get that right. I'm sure, like a top 20 would have been great in Billboard Hot 100. But so I am just, I'm also disappointed, but I do think that it's just time. He just needs time. If he just keeps on this, if he really re-strategize on how he's going to promote in the US and the UK, he's going to be one of the biggest acts in the world. Okay. Um, I refuse to pick a bias. I don't even like the word. Would his other bandmates be able to command a world tour like he did? They all have their strengths. Oh, of course. Oh, yeah. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. There are certain members that I think they should just do stadium, because if they don't do stadium, it's going to be world war. Yeah, yeah. Of course they will. Yeah, every member in BTS can do a world tour like this. Yeah, of course. My bias changes like all the time. Now I say I'm OT7 with no fixed address. JK songs had no depth. Not really. It's just that the songs were focused on love, romantic love specifically. So depth in that, if you're looking for like the depth of Bepse, or he doesn't have that. But depth in the story of love, he does have that. In So They Lack Comprehension, he's similar to what I know from JT. Lack comprehension? What do you mean? Okay, let's go down a little bit. Um, he can still chart. We did it for Yoongi. So yeah, he still can chart. We still have several days left. We still have several days left. Maybe we can break into the top 20. But usually Spotify is a good indicator because it's the widest used music platform. But he totally can. We can still make up for it. Totally should still continue streaming. So please continue streaming the song. He can still chart. He's probably gonna chart. I'm just talking about like charting higher. Okay. Also J-Hope has a coffee truck and snacks for armies for his pre-recording. Yeah, they're so sweet. JK is romantic too, loves words. I think he needs to write his own lyrics. I don't believe he wrote these lyrics. I think he co-wrote them. He's credited. And then I think he mentioned something about while he was writing the lyrics. So I think he co-wrote parts of it at the very least. Jimin did the shirtless with jacket in a photo shoot before he did it in Set Me Free Part 2, even before JK did it. What are we like competing? Who was the shirtless first? Let's not compete. Who went shirtless first? And by the way, Jimin Set Me Free wasn't meant to be sexy. It wasn't even meant to be sensual, by the way. Just wanted to make that clear. He can still chart. What are you talking about? He can still chart. All of them can do a tour, no doubt about that. All of them can do a tour, not definitely. Billboard, not Mnet. Okay. I hope they don't do those solo tours right now. I need a break from Jin and I need them together. Um, well, I hope, but if any member decides to do a world tour before the tour of the group, I hope that we can still all support it. I mean, the only reason, okay, in all honesty, the only reason I don't want any to tour is so that I can save for OTs. That's the only reason. Other than that, but of course, if anybody actually tours, I would still be supporting them. I would still fly to wherever if I need to fly just to watch them. So, um, he's been sexy from day one. Trendsetter. Who is sexy from day one? Yes, keep on streaming. Yes, they are not K-pop. Don't think ever where. I think they were K-pop in the beginning, but they've long left K-pop. I think they're just at the stage in life not wanting relationship. They are grown men. Who are we talking about? Who are we talking about their relationships? People. That's not our business. Their relationships, that's not our business. My bank account needs a break. Exactly. That is the only reason. Like I'm like hoping, can you not do a tour any at this moment so I can at least save for OT7. But again, if anybody does decide to do a tour, I would still be supporting them. We have remixes releasing in 40 minutes. Buy and stream them all on all platforms. Okay. I feel that JK Will's tour. Uh you know that guy, that kid is so unpredictable. Everyone, like when they all went on hiatus from group activities so that they can enlist in the military, everyone was expecting that it was going to be him who would tour first, like he would be the one to do solo projects first. And then it turned out it was him who was not interested at all, until Seven was off the song, until Seven was offered to him. He didn't want to do anything. He said he was enjoying his break too much. That's why they rushed everything, because he didn't want to. So don't count on that guy to surprise you. Okay. Japanese army saying JK will be touring there. They've again, if he decides to do it, many of these people are trying to agitate other armies. But so this is my standard response to everybody. Whoever wants to tour, I will support. Absolutely support. So if they say like, oh, they're gonna tour, great. Let's just support them. because what they want you to do, that what they're looking for, what the reaction that they want from you is to be mad that anybody would actually dare tour before the group activities. Okay. I want them to conquer all the markets too. Am I the only one upset that they are still continuing to do solo projects? I'm not upset that they're doing solo projects. I am not as upset at all. Definitely not. In fact, I would say I would say that it would actually be beneficial for BTS. So this is the next topic. Just expectations on BTS as they do their as we're still waiting for Suga. But one, let's be patient on what they all decide to do. I think some of the members, I know V has repeated several times that he kind of wants to go on a vacation with the group, right? He mentioned that several times. He mentioned that to RM, and he mentioned that in a live when he was, I think it was in a live when he was asking about the vacation. So I think they need V, or at least needs some of them actually need the time to reacclimate themselves to be seven again. Remember, many of these kids actually went on the military service and their solo activities, which are all very independent activities. They were on their own for the most part of that journey. And they have been, after being with a group for more than a decade, they suddenly found themselves on their own. And they had to thrive and they had to survive. So give them time. If the boys, if any of them feel that they need to go on a vacation and just be friends for a while until they get used to being seven again, let's be supportive. And I think the more we as armies talk about solo projects here, solo projects there, the more it's just going to rock the boat. Let's allow them, well, it's not like they need our permission, but let's celebrate whatever it is, whatever the steps they're going to be taking to before they actually start working on the album or working on the world tour. Let's just be very, very supportive. And I think also, I think it's also beneficial, the return of the kings. um I also think that it's actually beneficial if there is a law after the reunion. Once Suga comes back, if there is a law, whether they have solo projects here and there or whatever, I think it'll be good if they don't rush into a group activity, primarily because I know there are vultures out there that can't wait to use their name, the name of BTS, to promote themselves. So if BTS becomes active, all of these vultures are going to use their name to promote themselves. And they were counting on it. That's why there's like everybody and their dog is actually making a comeback June, July, and August, because they all thought BTS are going to hit the ground running. At least they can ride that wave. And I don't like that. I feel like if there's anybody who's going to use the name of BTS to promote themselves, it should be BTS. If, for example, RM wants to use the name of BTS to promote himself, or Jin, or Jungkook, or V, J Hope, Jimin, whoever, Suga, like, whoever wants to use the name of BTS to promote themselves, that's fine. Absolutely fine, because they are BTS. But I don't like it when it is somebody else using their name to promote themselves. And so having a law, I think, will catch everybody off guard. And that might be better, so that when they are ready to start their group activities again, everybody's done with theirs, right? Everybody's done. So then this, whatever it is that they're making, the only people that will benefit will be them. I mean, of course, we can't avoid that. They will, someone will always try to ride on their tails, grab hold of their tails, but we can't avoid that. But at least let's not give them the satisfaction of actually hitting the ground running, just as so they can, their work, whatever it is that they have planned out for July, June, July, August, will be promoted by BTS. So I think a lull will be good, and I'll be very, very supportive of that. But again, whatever it is that I can get, I will take. So if they all decide, okay, let's start doing the group activities, fine. But I just think that if they do decide to not do anything yet, I hope that we can all just support that. Or maybe, if they're going to do a lot, might as well some of the members do solo activities. Fine. Just to get it back into the groove of things, of performing, of doing music again. So let's just be very supportive, whatever they decide. Um Jin needs to rest as well, and J Hope. So I hope they take a vacation first. That's another thing. So a lot of people were asking, like, why did Jin decide to do a tour right when the members are actually returning? I think let's do remember that these guys actually talk. They do have a group chat. And now we know that some of them actually meet when they were in their vacation in the military. So I'm sure that whatever Jin has decided, the group already knows about it. And they have always been very, very smart in their approach to their career. So I think when this move of Jin to do a tour, a solo tour, is something that they all know and they're sure will help them as a group later on. Maybe, as I've said, maybe they thought, okay, let's just take it easy in the first 3 months. So do whatever it is that you want. And then come last quarter, let's start going for it. Okay. I agree with you. Fairlane, BTS is a keyword for attention. Some armies, where is that? Some armies are so smothering. They're criticizing Big Hit for making JK go on stage right away as if he is a baby who can't make a choice. Well, according to J Hope, it was JK who wanted to go on stage, and I really can't blame him because I think he misses performing, and he probably wanted to get back into the groove of things. I mean, if you watch that performance, you can visibly see that in the first several seconds, he was nervous. You can see that he was like tentative in what he went, but because he's JK, the great JK, it didn't take him long to adjust. I mean, by the end, by the like probably in the second verse of the song, it was like he owned the stage. He knew what he was doing. So I think that was his purpose. He just wanted to go back into the groove of things. So I think that was clear. J Hope said that it was actually Jungkook who wanted to perform with him. Rainstorm said that I think that JK is going to US for CK shoot. Probably. I think they all need a short break. The four most recent needs to reacclimate to civilian life. Jin, as well, as he has almost single-handedly kept the name of BTS in the press, as well as J-Hope. And he doesn't get enough credit for that. And I do have a video on that, by the way. Just an appreciation of what Jin and J-Hope managed to do while the others are still serving. um so yeah, he doesn't get enough credit for actually just, I remember one of his videos when he told his staff, put me through as much of a hardship as possible, because he wants to make sure that armies are actually entertained. He could have rested, but he didn't do that. He decided he was going to do a show, he was going to do this, release an album, release another album, and then go on tour. So I think he needs to be credited for that, and I have an upcoming video on that. By the way, so JK is going to US for CK shoot. As I've said, this is the second time I've actually shown your comment, but a lot of people are watching who are the brands that are following BTS members. It's so entertaining. If you go on X, like, oh, this, like the picture of V with the director, meeting with the director, and it seemed like they had the script in front of them, and then someone said, like, oh, maybe it's just a menu. But it could be that they're talking about something, and really excited because V is just a natural when it comes to drama, so it would be great to actually see him. So maybe he's going to use that law to shoot something, which would be great for him. But yeah, so going back, a lot of armies are actually keeping track which brands are actually starting to follow the members, because they're predicting, okay, there's a campaign that's going to happen with this brand, a collaboration between this member and this member. And I am all for that as well, because I think I've already done several videos emphasizing that next to a tour, and merch the most profitable? Well, actually, depending on the merch, it's just that has a really big merch. But for other ordinary singers or artists outside of the tour, brand deal is actually the best in terms of profit. That is the highest activity that brings in the highest profit. So if they get more brand deals, that will be great. Okay. He deserves his own concert. Who deserves his own concert? Okay, give me 1 second. I'm gonna change something. Okay. Suga, he is discharged in June 21. Yes. Several less than a week away. Well, girls, okay. He has two solo albums during the whole year. J Hope said JK asked to be on stage. Correct. J Hope said that it was actually Jungkook who wanted to go on stage, and then Jin said he would love to go on stage because it is June 13. So he said that Army would love to see us together, and he was right. I don't think I have been like that has been the happiest I've been seeing the seven of them in the same building, not even in the same space. I mean, not even in the same stage, but just in the same space. I was just so happy knowing that for sure they went, they met after even to just say goodbye and good job and whatever, say good job or whatever. I hope to God it isn't individual greed that they are continuing to do solo project. I mean to you mean to earn. What's wrong if they want to earn? I also don't think there's anything wrong if they want to. They have bills to pay. So no, I don't think there's anything wrong that if they want to pack on cash, that's okay. If I have that talent, I would also do the same. So that's also, I mean, I unless you mean greed, like real greed. I don't think so. I think it's just more like wanting to explore their artistry, their individual artistry. I don't think they're greedy. Do you watch J Hope Manager program? In there, he told that Hobie had the show plan for the last 3 years. They have a lot of plans. BTS are great planners. Whatever going to do. It's been in the pipeline for some time. I think whatever it is, it'll be huge. Okay. How many? Okay, I still have about 26 minutes. Jungkook and Jin's raw voice was so loud during day one, Hot's final. Okay, let me see if I have other things before I go to the non BTS. Wait, is that everything that I want to say about BTS? Return of the Kings? Give me 1 second. Oh, okay. Some more points about BTS's return. In my notes, I actually said that most likely some members are going to come up with they're going to release mini projects even if it is not a full album or a full concert. They might have some mini projects. It could be related to some brands, but it could also be something that they just wanted to do. I think, remember that, for example, for Jungkook and for Jimin, for example, they after the success after they hit Billboard Hot 100 number 1, and then the succeeding successes of their other singles, they didn't have, actually, even for V, because it wasn't long after the release of Layover that he signed up, they didn't really have the chance to enjoy the success, right? Like, we're all worrying at that moment. We're all thinking, like, do they know do they know that they are breaking records? Do they know that they are establishing a new high, a new standard, not just for K-pop but for Asian pop or even global pop for that matter? Do they actually know? So they didn't have the chance to celebrate that, right? They did not have the chance to celebrate that. So I think we should also, if they do decide to do something just so they could feel that success in person with armies, I also hope that we support them, because they heard it. Their friends are probably texting them about it, but they didn't feel it because they were serving the military. So I hope that if they do decide to do that, if it is just because they want, whatever, they just wanted to celebrate their victory, I hope that we can also be supportive of that. I do think some of them would want to do it. um Maybe not all, but whoever decides to do that, I hope will be supportive of that. And let's understand and remember, they did not get a chance to celebrate and to feel that love physically from armies during the height of their success with their albums. So let's be supportive of that. Took Jimin year to write one album, but he did it all by himself. Writing it is a lot. So I bawled my eyes out during the entire time. Almost, I'm emotional seeing the coffee truck and this desserts will be prepared for armies. I really hope he still has a chance to win. Okay, so that, and then next is that I think there are still some projects that are pending, not necessarily solo, like personal projects that they have, but I think they have pending projects with some brands. So that might cause them to want to do certain things alone, solo, just so they can fulfill those commitment. And as I've said, there is absolutely nothing wrong if they want to earn from their IP, from the career that they have built. So if they decide, okay, I have 7 brands working with me, might as well, do something while we're preparing for the album. If they do decide to do that, let's also be very, very supportive. Okay. Then the other thing is, whoever is going to do their solo projects, these kids are very unique in their approach. Um, so in their approach to their own solo projects, so I think they're going to do it different ways. But whatever that may be, the sound of one of the biggest hurdles that we as armies will have to encounter, that will encounter, will actually be, who are we going to be supporting? If these boys start doing solo activities at the same time, is going to be very, very confusing. So the voice of the the solos, the solo fan bases will be very, very loud. Okay, so I think my my priority, my order of priority will be, I will try to, of course, support as many as I can. So whenever they come to my city, or whenever I get a chance to fly to wherever where they're at, I will try to do that. But my order will be whoever I haven't seen on a concert yet. So for example, because I have seen J-Hope and I will be seeing Jin, once the other 5 start, then I will prioritize them and then go back in a loop. But not everybody will have, the extra income to actually support all of their projects, right? So this is my commitment, I will try to do as many fundraising as I could for just for those armies who want to actually watch any of the events that they will be holding for themselves. But I hope that, if the boys decide to do solo activities, let us not, let's amplify the voices of those that can support. Some of that will be solo fan bases. So let's just choose the solo fan bases that are not trashing on the other members. um, and I can help you with that because I'm a master of that. I always curate who it is that I'm talking with, make sure that they don't trash other members, and I will communicate with them. But if this boys start doing solo activities first, or even after the OT7 activities, let's amplify the voices of those that can support other members if we can't. Okay, I think that's my last point. I don't see them going on tour all at once. I also don't see that happening. But they might do some activities at the same time. Like one may be going on tour and then the others. But in all honesty, I think there are some members that will just want to do mini things, like mini projects, launch mini projects, just as so they can celebrate the things that they have achieved. So as I've said, I think um, for RMV, Jungkook and Jimin, because a lot of their projects were released, or a lot of their achievements were achieved while they were in the military, they will probably want to feel a little of that. So maybe they will use the lull time to do some mini projects. Maybe. Um, Easily the biggest challenge for Army is going to be grasping the concept that these men, not boys, they are going to date and have lives. We need to give them that grace. Oh yeah, I mean, I'm looking for. You know what? I'm really looking for it. That's why when I saw J Hope with Sana, because Sana is so pretty. So when I saw J Hope with Sana, and he was like melting, I was like, oh my god, our kid has no game. how are you going to how are you going to multiply that DNA to have a game? But I'm looking forward to actually them, you know, whatever, having a relationship or getting married. But I hope they do the OT7 tour first if they're gonna go on if they're gonna get married. They can divide the world in seven pieces so we can have a member in different, okay, that would be great, different like continents, that would be great. Taeyong also wants to act again. I hope he does. I hope he does. I really do. He's a natural. He was born for it. I know, and especially because Jin kind of said that he's not interested. Like, right? He said he doesn't want to act anymore, or at least not anytime soon. He doesn't see him wanting to act soon. So I feel like, then yeah, then that would even be sweeter if V actually decides to do it. Our boys take time to yeah, okay. I really wanted to win one of their fan calls so I can tell them to get married and have kids. Please don't do that. Just give them support or do something fun. Do something fun. Like, I think the boys enjoy it when you're doing something fun with them. Like I can't forget that girl who taught JK how to mix drinks. Like JK even stopped his staff to from cutting the fan call, because he wanted to really see the end. And then I remembered Jin, a fan of Jin, like doing dad jokes on Jin, and Jin, like, he couldn't stop laughing. I think doing something fun would be memorable for them. Jin is going to get kidnapped by some director or PD. We should give BTS time to figure things out. Yeah, let's just be supportive. That I think I do think a law is going to be beneficial, so that people don't, or other groups or other acts don't use their name to their advantage. And then it's going to give them, it's, if the members decide that they kind of want to celebrate the victories that they achieved while they were in the military, I hope we're generous enough to actually celebrate that with them. Okay. Are V and J Hope going to be in Squid Game? Oh, that would be great. That would be great. That would be great. But of course, let's wait for the official announcement. We should give BTS. Like, I have 15 minutes. Is there anything else you want to ask before I go on my next topic, which is non BTS related? Not so much BTS related, unless there is just questions that you want to ask me. Oh, there is something I want to address. There's something I want to address. So, um, how do I do this? A, a lot of you, a lot of people, not necessarily you. I'm not sure if those are if you are one of them, but a lot of you would comment whenever I do an individual video for a member. BTS 7+1. Ah, thank you. Birthday treat for Debak. Love from Tita Bayag. Thank you so much. I will tell him he's currently sleeping. Thank you. I am going to buy him a cake. Again, we celebrated in San Francisco. He loved it. He loves it there. He loves the weather. So I'm going to buy him another one. Thank you so much. So a lot of you would actually comment whenever I do an individual video for any member, a video for a video for a member. A lot would be it usually happens when it's JK and Jimin. You would comment, some people would comment, not necessarily you, but some people will comment like, oh, you are, this guy is your bias, like this member is your bias. Number one, I don't think that there's something wrong with having a bias. So those of you who actually has, if you have a bias, that's fine. So if I have a bias, then I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. Now I don't, they are, I have a different bias for different times and different types. So okay, but the other thing is that um many of the topics that I do, they're actually requested by someone. So this video of Jimin, when I did the military discussion, those were actually requested by, I would assume, fans of Jimin, those that are whose bias is Jimin. So they requested I did a video. So if you want me to talk more about your bias, I don't have exclusivity on all good ideas in the world. So it does help when you're actually sending requests. Just request. If you want me to talk about a certain member, just request. Even if it is a general topic or a general idea, just throw it at me. Just say, hey, can you do something this and whatever? And I'll do it. So for V, I'm going to do one because someone requested. And then someone said, like, why don't you do one for each member? Okay, I'm going to do that. But just request instead of like bashing me for talking about a certain member. Just request. If you want me to talk about your bias, just request. Again, I don't have exclusivity of all the good ideas out there, so it actually helps when people are actually requesting. You can have a bias and still support all of them. Yeah. Okay, so that's one. And then another, okay, so it's the other question, the other topic actually came into my head. So one, there is a war going on about who's the better soldier in BTS. It is, huh? Okay, so it's like, oh, this is more prestigious or whatever. um that someone is like putting down the achievements of other members. I did an entire video about RM, and I think if there's anything that, and how, I talked about just how how he expressed how hard of a time he had in the military. So I thought that it would give us some sort of a wake up call to be a bit more sensitive in how we talk about how people deal with things like that. Military is not easy and it's not for everybody. So, what we all know is that every member did their best in the military. All of them, they did their best in the military. Some members decided on, and not everybody decided to choose the same jobs, and that's fine because they all ended up doing what they, I guess, and outside of RM, all of them ended up doing something they enjoy, right? Because Hope, both because they were the first ones to be discharged, they expressed that they really enjoyed their military and they made the most out of it. We know that JK said that he really enjoyed being in the kitchen and that was his world because he really liked cooking. And then we know that Jimin said he did his best. Like he was not sure if he wanted to do the service, but once he was there, he gave it his best. And we know that V is the same way. Even before he enlisted, he was already saying he has a plan. There was something that he wanted to prove to himself. That's why he signed up for SDT. And we know that RM really had a very, very hard time, but he finished his service. He didn't take any kind of shortcut. He just did his best so that he can serve. So all of this talk about who's better and who's whatever, it's so silly because at the end of the day, they fulfilled their service. They fulfilled their obligation. So I just hope that we can all cheer them on. Now, when you see anybody, this is my tip. When you see anybody putting down the achievement or putting down another member, it's best if you block, because the minute they put down another member, it only means that they are that type of a person. So what is the they are a hater basically. So what is the use of listening to somebody who hates BTS anyway? Nothing. So just just don't mind them if they're talking about, oh, this his achievement is like this and he didn't really do anything and whatever. Chances are they know that what they're saying is not correct and it's not true. They're just doing that because they want to get a certain reaction from you. So don't give them the satisfaction by paying any attention. Okay. All right. So just ignore them. Ignore, if especially if you know the truth. Now someone, so I will be releasing the video about SDT, but briefly, because someone kept on asking me, what is the difference between SDT and special forces. So SDT is some sort of like an arm of special forces, but SDT, military police specifically, is tactical. Special forces is strategic. Those that are serving their mandatory service, they're serving their mandatory service, cannot be special forces. Special forces is reserved for those that will not, that want to make the military their career. Okay. So, but those that are serving their mandatory service can become SDT, military service, because it's tactical, meaning they're given a specific task by the strategic team, which is special forces. So for example, one of the most popular thing that MP does is escorting a VIP. So for example, they escort the president, they escort whatever. If there is an extraction, they don't know what it is that they are extracting, but they may be tasked to extract something or somebody. That's an MP, an SDT MP, a military police, and that's what V was doing. It's very tactical. When it comes to something big, when it involves like the US, when it involves South Korea, that is special forces. So what V did was SDTMP. And as I've said, if you are just serving your mandatory military service, you can't be special forces. That is reserved for those that will want to make the military their career. That's the difference. Special forces is tactical. Sorry, special forces is strategic. And then SDT, military police, is tactical. Okay? um just block the haters. Just block the haters. I always take the trash out. The difference between South Korean special SDT lies in their role selection, mission, and unit structure. Yeah, there's a lot of difference, but that is, so one is strategic, one is tactical. So SDT MP specifically, they deal with very specific instructions, very specific things that they need to accomplish. Usually short term, usually, unless there's like a national emergency that's happening, then they get involved. Everybody gets involved at that stage. If it is a national emergency or a national catastrophe or a national situation, then everybody gets involved. But on a day to day, they usually deal with short term specific missions. Does that make sense? Okay. I was surprised when it was announced that V would be doing SDT, but honestly, it makes sense. He's been smart and skilled for years. Smart, skilled. He has the body for it, and honestly, he has the grit for it, which a lot of people don't see because he's such a sweet person and such a naughty person in the beginning. But he has the grit for it. I wasn't surprised. Um, what matters most to me is that they completed their service safely and in good health. Everything they achieved in the military is just a bonus. And what matters more is their music, because that's really what they love doing, right? I think we're all forgetting that they decided to do their service just because they were obligated to do so. But I don't think anyone, I think at this stage, it's very, very clear that none of them would have actually done it if it wasn't a mandatory thing. So, my husband was in the military for 6 years. It's a way of life, and we can't understand unless we live it. The guys will have each other, and that's incredibly important. Of course, BTS 7 plus 1 V saying that his personality has changed. He can't handle people being cute now. I was like, oh, V is trolling us now. Sharon, we were in for 20 years. It's a world and of itself. Special forces are a surgical knife used to a big operation. SDT is high speed SWAT team, ready to strike right now. A little, yeah. Yeah, I think you can say that. He's smart. I can't imagine what they went through when the martial law was declared. No matter their role or base, that decision affected all military personnel. I saw on Twitter that Suga's discharge might be announced tomorrow. So excited. I don't know. They don't usually do the big welcome that the other members do for office for public servants. For Yeah. So I don't know what Suga will plan on doing. Probably probably a V live, a Weverse live or something. Do you have a video explaining the story plot behind Best Moment in Life? I saw some video explaining it, but I trust your explanation the most. I actually did the part one, and then I didn't have a chance to do a part two. I'll continue. I'll continue. I should probably just do one like long video explaining the entire thing. That's probably what I should do. Okay. Everyone handle things on. Oh my god, I have 3 minutes. Okay, so the only topic left for me is non-BTS. So I was mentioning earlier that I will start doing a third live stream weekly, but it will be for non-BTS topics. Not necessarily, I might still talk about BTS, but it won't necessarily be BTS. I'll start talking about Asian movies, Asian dramas, other recommendations. I will do sometimes I'll probably have somebody on to discuss things with me or stuff like that. I don't know if I'm going to do it Friday or Saturday, but I will start doing that so that 2 days, two of my live stream very much focused on BTS, and then the third one is just something general. Maybe I will also be talking about the things that I'm doing, like the novel that I haven't talked about in a while. So I'll do that. Um, yeah, so I will. Okay, do you have any other question? Yoongi will sneak out and show up unannounced. Okay, Sugar will check out of his job post, walk out the door. Yeah, so it's like an ordinary end of the day for him. Like, how an office worker is your last day. It's kind of like that. It's just like turn over of things and whatever, and then that's it. Um, I hope RM can sleep soundly and eventually without amends. Miss Kim, that sounds fun. Yeah, I think the last live is a little bit more, it's less structured. I will still line up some topics just so people would know what I will be talking about for that day. But as I've said, it'll be just like, the novel that I'm doing, progress in the company and stuff. Yeah, other Asian artists, movies that I'm recommending. Maybe I'll even watch some shows with you guys. So I will try to see if it's going to be Friday or Saturday, but I will do it. Maybe it's even late at night. Maybe I'll do um my my insomnia live. Okay, so I will wear this other one. This is my day one. How's that? Oh, he's blending because it's white. The background is white. The other one is nicer, huh? The other one is nicer. Should I wear this 2 days? Or should I get another tuna? Another fish headband? Because I feel like this is gonna blend. Okay. Okay. All right. One of J Hope's mix was just released. All right. Let's start watching. Let's start listening to J Hope's remixes. Thank you, people. I'll see you Wednesday. Bye.